Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 122, Got Waffle.
She's a little tired,
She normally would not let me even hold her this long, so I'm surprised that she's letting me do that.
but her eyes are barely open.
She's very tired. We were actually just talking like tomorrow, we haven't even been here a week. Oh,
That's true.
okay, bye.
That
And
was that.
they've like found some great spots to hang out in, and one of the funniest things is we have the same TV like credenza, I guess you could call it, underneath our TV.
Yeah, I
They
don't know what
never-
you call that.
It's a piece of furniture.
It's a piece of furniture, a cabinet.
And it's got all my tiny plates and cups and baking stuff in it, so it's actually good storage. But they never went behind there the whole time that we lived in our other house, and now that's like their favorite place to go.
They go behind it and they go under
And
it.
they can go underneath it, which is like so funny.
From the back, they can't get under it from the front.
And
We
the
never
other-
thought they would be able to get underneath it from the back.
And the other great thing is that they've been curling up with us at night, watching TV. So they'll sit on our lap, sit next to us, and stuff like that. So that's been really fun. And they didn't do that as much in the old house. So
Not really, although Gordy would sometimes.
yeah, Gordy would definitely do that. But it's like a nightly occurrence, which is amazing. And we were actually just talking about how much we've told people how much peaceful it is here. You know, it's so
Yeah,
quiet and
it really
everything
is.
like that. But you don't really realize like how stressful being in a construction zone is for so long until you don't have it.
Really more than 4 years,
Mhm.
because we basically moved from a construction zone into another construction
Yeah.
zone. That's the thing. The town that we lived in, which was sort of where we grew up, and it's a lovely place, great place, wonderful people, but apparently it's the most desirable place to live in the entire world because there's just
Any
constant
little tiny plot of land, they're going to build a high rise on it.
right. So it's like, it's a great place to live, except that now, and you can't fault people for wanting to move there, but it's like, okay, but now it's sort of unlivable because there's constant construction. So
Yeah. So
What
I
are you
think
gonna
that is by far, and even like noticing during the day when I'm working, like just taking a pause just to be like, oh, it's
although
so nice.
I think our neighbor in this street, very nice people, we met them, but I think maybe they were hinting a little bit today that we need to get our grass cut.
Oh, really?
Because he was out there again cutting the grass, and it seems to me that he's already cut the grass since we moved in. So that's twice
We're
the
working on
lesson
it.
spent. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure it has nothing to do with that. It's more, I guess, my paranoia because we haven't had it. We could do it ourselves, but we don't own a lawnmower anymore because for the last several years we've used landscaping service.
Yeah.
So we could do that, but we're trying to get quotes from people, and of course it was Memorial Day weekend last weekend.
Yeah.
Everyone was out of town, so we're still working on that. But I was laughing because I finally set up my office, and my office is on the side of the house next to their house, and it wasn't any kind of disruption or anything like that. It was just but I thought it was funny because I'm like, I'm pretty sure you mowed
Yeah.
over the last weekend, and now it's Thursday and you're doing it again. Are you trying to tell us something?
We did have.
Probably not. I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
I guess we didn't say one mishap we had in the move is David's desk that he had.
I think I don't know. I thought I mentioned that, but who knows? Because it's been
So
a
he had a
whirlwind.
big desk at our old house that we were bringing over here, that obviously his work desk. And on the truck, the way that they put it on there, like it kind of got unstable on one side, just so part of it broke. But then the other part was salvageable and maybe
Well,
could
we
have
thought
fit
it
in
was.
the office better. But even with the hinges taken off, they couldn't get it through the door, and then it broke more. So David had to order another desk, which came today, and now I ordered another bedside table, which I have to put together too. So I mean, it's just like the boxes and like the more things we think of, like, oh, we need that kind of thing. I don't think we're gonna get rid of boxes for like the next month.
Yeah, we have more boxes now than we had when we actually
I know.
moved, and we've tried to get rid of some.
And then I just saw somebody in Chicago, and maybe it's in your town too. You can rent tubs. They're just heavy duty plastic tubs. They bring it with as many tubs as you want, and then they packing tape if you want to tape them up, bubble wrap and everything. And then the one key I thought was good is that they collect them all in 2 weeks, so it gives you an incentive to unpack things to give them back, so you don't have to do that. That could have been useful for us.
Well, it might be an expensive service, but there are certain advantages to it. I mean, obviously, you know, if in theory it's better for the environment. You're not going through all those boxes. They're reusable containers. The only negative side is, of course, they have to drop them off and pick them up. So then there's all that potential pollution that
And I
that
think
comes
I
from
saw
it,
that it's
but-
in several states, so it's not just in Chicago or Illinois. So check that out if you're near that. And I don't think we also noticed after everything that we've done is we have solar panels on our roof. So
We do.
the previous owners just installed them last year. They're paid off, so we don't pay anything. It was a lot of paperwork to fill out with the electric company to get it all set up and everything, and transferred ownership and everything. But we're kind of excited. We've never had solar panels before, so if you do,
That is true.
leave us a comment and tell us how you like it.
Although every time you mention the solar panels, there's, you probably don't remember this, but John Hyatt, one of my favorite artists.
Who we saw 2 summers ago.
We did see him a couple. Well, wasn't it 2018? That'd be 3 summers ago.
It was 3
now.
summers ago.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. But he's been a solo artist basically, you know, his whole career. But he had a band with a guy named Nick Lowe, who's another one of my favorite artists. If you were around in the 80s, you might remember Nick Lowe. Anyway, Nick Lowe, by the way, is the guy who wrote the song "What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding" that Elvis Costello had a big hit with, but Nick Lowe wrote it. Anyway, so they had a band called Little Village, and there were some other people in the band. But one of the songs they played was called "Solar Sex Panel," which was, I know this is we should save this for our adult show, but it turns out if you listen to the lyrics, John Hyatt was referring to his bald head. So every time you say solar panel, I think of this John Hyatt song.
Okay, now I'll think about that too.
Yeah, John Hyatt is great, and Little Village was really great too. I think they may only have put out one album.
That's so funny.
But that's
I'm
true.
not
He's
familiar
talking
with
about
that.
his bald head. That's what he referred to it as.
That's so funny.
John Hyatt, there's a lot of innuendo in John Hyatt songs. Don't think too much about the song Drive South, if you're ever familiar with that.
Okay.
Susie Boggess had a big country hit with that song.
Oh, that's right.
Susie Boggess from Western
I
Illinois.
do that. I do know.
But it's a
that
John
song.
Hyatt song. And it's also laced with an innuendo.
Okay, now I gotta
Just
listen
leave
to
it.
again.
Just
Yeah,
leave it
leave
alone.
at that.
Just leave it alone.
And since we moved in today, I took my first drive into the city, which was interesting. Our youngest went back to Champaign.
We've been in the house for less than a week and she's taken off.
Yeah, to visit friends and her boyfriend. So I guess maybe I didn't think the traffic would be that bad. But now I know that it can be a little bit things. I was just proud of myself, and I didn't have to call you to say I was lost.
I didn't think you'd get
I'm the
lost.
worst at directions, so I did have the app on, so that it was telling me where to go anyway. So at least I had that. But even so, you can have that, and you can still get lost because you misinterpret the directions that it's telling you, kind of thing. So I always
Like
get
Michael
leery.
Scott.
Yeah, when they move, it
The
says
machine
turn right.
knows, Dwight. The machine knows.
But we made it just in the nick of time, so Claire got on the train successfully. And I always have to think too, so I definitely was gonna just put the hazards on. She was at Union Station, run in with her to see, make sure.
You can't do that in
You
downtown
can't.
Chicago. You can't. You'll get towed before you even know it.
I know, and that was the other thing. It's like, is it worth it? And she was like, no, I've got this. I can do it by myself. And I was like, of course you can. Because I have to think, when I was 19, how stubborn I was of, I can go places, I can do this, I can find it, and things like that. I have to remember that I shouldn't put that on other
I took
people.
the train to and from Champaign all the time.
I know. I drove to Iowa State. That was 6 hours. I went to Florida, on a plane, by myself. So yeah, it's
Just like a big kid.
just like a big kid, like a grown up.
She went right back to where you picked her up
Yeah,
from, the
Waffle's
exact
back
same
asleep
spot,
again.
curled up, sleeping. She must like the air conditioning.
I think she does. which is another great feature, is our old house. A lot of Oak Park houses and older houses do not have central air, so air conditioners in every room practically, and the loudness of it, and installing them, taking them out, bringing them in the basement, bringing them back out, and stuff like that. So this place, just flip a switch.
And I think we have the Nest working properly.
We figured out the
Nest thermostat.
David did.
Well, I don't know if I did. We were both staring at it.
But thank you for
Messing
suggestions,
around.
and thank you for all the comments on our tour.
Yeah.
We were super professional putting that together. It was high. It was high quality.
Mostly, I apologize for the unnecessary close-ups of my face.
and my just the top.
And you kept walking out of the frame. I didn't know what was going on, so I was holding we used a phone instead of the iPad, which we normally use, and we didn't use a selfie stick. Now I understand why they're long, so that you hold them further away from us. We just used a tripod that we have for the phone, which we would use to face.
We don't have a selfie stick.
We don't.
Yeah.
But we have this tripod because we would use it when we were FaceTiming with Claire when she was in school, and we've done things on this with the tripod too, but we had it all collapsed into a nice short little thing.
Yeah.
So I could carry it around. The problem is, for one thing, it was kind of heavy, which I did not expect at all. But also, it's great because you don't have to hold the phone the whole time.
Right.
But it's also just basically a few inches away from my face. So.
We still got a lot of views and comments, so thank you very
yes,
much.
We appreciate your
yes.
Tolerating our
it's a work in progress.
It is.
But then by watching you edit those, then I posted something on my channel for my food thing, a video, because I figured out how to do that.
But we've done that before, because we did a thing on Thanksgiving where we videotaped the whole process of,
yes, we did.
Of putting together Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah,
but
and
we
also
did it in
did
little
that for
clips.
the chili too.
And we did it when we made chili.
So if you look further back, there's an episode where David makes his famous chili, and there's one that we did our deluxe Thanksgiving. So that's kind of fun.
But yeah, we'll need to have 3 or 4 cameras. Like Jerry Seinfeld,
I need one up in the balcony. I need one up from the top of there. All different angles. So yeah, we'll have to figure that out and figure out how to do that. And
we're not bootlegging movies. Cry again.
Yeah, cry again. So yeah, we've gotten more unpacked and organized, and I noticed like my actual closet in my room is still a mess. But if I don't shut the door,
I don't consider that to be a mess.
One of our cats, well, it's not organized the way I want it to. So that's like
that may be, but I don't consider it to be a mess.
Yeah, Gordon was sleeping in there. So if that was another
amongst
place,
your socks.
Yeah, and I have like a little thing that has socks in it. So she jumped in there, and she's probably like happy as a clam that she found my socks.
She was sulking because we had an argument. not us.
Yeah.
I had an argument with the cat. Because you were
I was gone.
You were taking Claire down to the train station.
Mark was in class.
Mark was in class, had his door shut. I had a meeting coming up, so I shut the door to my office, and Gordy was inconsolable. She was crying so loudly, and I won't raise my voice into the microphone, but I was going, Gordy, come on! And she was like yelling back at me from the other side of the door.
Open this door right now.
Yeah, she was mad. And so the lesson clearly is just ignore her, and then she'll quiet down. But
yeah, because there has been a few nights where she's cried when we're going to sleep, and it's just kind of like you just kind of ignore it.
Yeah,
and then
you have
she'll
to
stop after.
You absolutely have to.
Yeah.
But this is a situation where I had this meeting coming up. There was something I had to get done before the meeting, and she was interrupting my concentration. So I'm like, Gordy, and she's yelling back.
Yeah.
And then a few minutes later, it was quiet, and so after my meeting, I went around the house looking for her, and there she was in your side. I think she was mad.
She was sulking in there.
She was sulking.
Where's my mom?
Yeah, right. She'd had enough of me. You cannot yell at a cat. There's 0 point in raising your voice to a cat. Because even if you're doing it, for their own good, like you try to get them from, not doing something that harms them, it doesn't work. They'll either ignore you, or they'll freak out and like bolt and whatever.
Yeah. So that's
So it was not a worthwhile thing, but we had an argument.
Poor Gordy.
I think she won the argument, actually, as I'm thinking about it.
So yeah, so we are just enjoying our first week, and we keep on thinking like last week at this time, just how much stuff we still had to do, and just the anxiety about it all. Like, is it going to happen like smoothly, and all that stuff.
We actually bought the house a week ago today.
That is true. Happy,
I mean, that was the actual
happy
closing.
1 week anniversary.
Yes, that's right. That is right.
So yeah, we won't forget that date anytime soon.
I'll probably forget.
But yeah, we're looking forward to getting our pool set up. I'm actually going to call the company. I sent over the paperwork just to get on the calendar. It'll still be a few weeks, unfortunately. And then I still have to figure out the whole garden situation.
Oh, the garden situation,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Because there's like a little plot or like a raised bed kind of thing in the backyard that the previous owner had, but it's just all full of weeds and stuff like that. So I got to figure out like what to do about that. So we might do that this weekend, maybe.
You might do that this week.
It's gonna be like in the 90s, so it's just like I might just get it.
Very hot.
And last time I got stuff and like put it in my garage for a week or so. Do you remember that? And I was watering it in the garage.
Because we went, you wanted to plant it on Mother's Day, but we went like the week before and got it.
Yes,
I think that's how it worked.
And it all worked out. So I gotta figure out what I actually want to plant, but we'll figure that out. And I'll share the garden journey here too.
The garden journey.
The journey of our garden.
Yeah.
4th year in a row. So
seems like it's more than that, but you're probably right.
So we'll see how that goes, and if I want to spend hours out there in 90-degree weather, maybe not. So we will definitely catch up with you later. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. It's a short week, so thank goodness it's Friday again tomorrow. We're gonna try the different pizza place tomorrow night that we originally wanted to, since now we know it's like a 2-minute drive from here, and we can pick it up.
But you kind of have to drive because I don't want to try crossing that street.
There's
on
a busy
foot.
there's a busy street that you have to cross to get over it, but it's 50 miles an hour. So I mean, it's like not something that you could
it's
just
like
be
trying to cross a highway.
Yeah, and we don't want to die right when we get here. So
No, ideally no.
But I don't mind like just taking a 2-minute drive, going over there and getting it and coming back. So
Now I'm hungry again because you're talking about pizza.
I know.
And we
I
just
know.
ate dinner.
So on Saturday we'll tell you how that pizza place ranks. It's been in the town for 30 years, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it's good. And otherwise, we'll have to keep trying around and see what sticks.
And one other thing.
What's that?
What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow is June 4th.
What's the significance of it, though? Not the actual date, but what is the significance tomorrow?
I don't know.
We will be fully vaccinated
Oh yes,
by
definitely.
tomorrow, because it was 2 weeks ago. It was May 21st, so tomorrow will be 2
Nice.
weeks.
Oops.
Although that's kind of a HIPAA violation to talk about someone else's vaccination.
That's okay.
So now I'm going to
I
get
approve.
sued. She's going to sue me.
That's exciting. So yeah, happy that's done.
Yep.
But we hope you guys have a good rest of the evening. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.